Hello Internet, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the Jongravesshow, and welcome to Recap Corner. Not Recap Corner, this is Complaint Train. Sorry, I keep getting those two titles mixed up, but either way, let's talk about some gaming news, and to sort of pop this off really easily, let's go ahead and talk about like the very first story that kind of popped into my news feed. So let's jump right into it. Majesco is no longer making games. And for those of you out there who think that Majesco is basically the toy company, I think Majesco was actually the team that made Gone Home and The Boy and His Blob. And the last games that they made came out back in January 2015. And just like many other companies, they kind of had to fall through because of financial problems. Now, I'm not gonna say that the games that they made were actually terrible or pretty much whatever, but honestly, I kind of like their company and I kind of like their games. Now, I'm not necessarily gonna say like that they are basically like the catch-all end-all of like masterful games, but they were innovative enough to make to mask a horror game inside of a story game, something in which that you can never do ever again, which is Gone Home, of you walking around this dark ass house and you're the only one there and you think that there's monsters there, but they're not. It's just a big ass it's just a giant dark ass house, and you have to find like these radio recordings of left behind by the protagonist's sister. So that's virtually the whole game, but let's move on to our next story though, because I'm actually kind of sad that Majesco's gone. But if you ever get a chance, check out Gone Home and A Boy and His Blob. So I'll see you next. So I will see you on the next story. God damn it. This next news story is sort of straight and to the point. Stranding runs on the Horizon Zero Dawn engine. And how did Hideo Kojima get Protein as to acquire acquire the Decima system? Well, he just went to Guerrilla Games and asked them, and they said, "Okay, fine." I mean, like looking at Hideo Kojima's like actual like track record of like the Metal Gear series and basically like his Police Knot series and Snatcher and stuff like that, you can honestly see that he's actually planning on making something as quirky and as crazy as what he did with those other games. So of course, like they just handed him the system and wished him the best of luck. Look, I mean, we see what he's doing with it. We still don't understand, But for this man to be an open world co-op multiplayer game, which has a very innovative story, I kind of wonder how he's gonna pull all this off. But either way, the only thing that I can say though is that at the very least, the game is gonna look beautiful. But that's that news story. So let's move on. This one is a two-parter, and honestly, I'm about to just name both of the titles. Okay, the first one is Blizzard teases Overwatch plans for 2017, and honestly, we kind of already know what their plans are. Add way more characters, add way more maps, add better this, add better that, and of course, like that's kind of what you have to do for a company. Just keep making it better and better and better, and you can kind of say, like, if you want to, the link is in the description. Like, all the links are in the description and you can read it yourself. But like, this one is kind of straightforward, and I kind of like it. I like the way how that they're kind of like going with the whole thing of like, we are gonna add more, we're gonna make it better, and we're gonna make it even crazier. I actually respect that. But moving on to the next one though, Blizzard apologizes for May's divisive winter wardrobe. And this one is, well, to sum this up, like people saw the May and Winter costume, which was, her base costume with a Christmas skin over it, red and green boots and a Santa hat, which basically just her normal costume with a Santa hat on and a reskin. Ain't no problem with that. And Blizzard, they actually apologized and said sorry, you're disappointed with May's winter skin. We are just we just sort of made a gut call based off what we think is cool. We thought that was pretty special, and we had done it specifically based on community suggestions. from months ago when people were speculating that we might have a winter event. Apologies that our cool meter was off from yours on this one. The interesting thing about this, though, is that I kind of have to commend a lot of companies for being good sports about when the fans are not happy about all their products, and they do things to try and say, well, okay, we'll take a bullet for this one. We'll actually pull it back and we'll try and make it happy. Okay, fine. But the problem with this is that some gamers are never actually happy, and also it kind of pains me to say this, but it's very difficult for somebody to complain about this thing when they bought it. I mean, people spent the money and they got this costume. They got they were trying to get the legendary skin. Now, mind you, I think that the thing that's really hurting them is the fact that it's a legendary skin. And again, legendary or not, you still put the time and money to acquire it. Now, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that that's a bit crazy, especially since it's well, now we don't want this. We don't want a reskin. We want that. I'm it's fine. I mean, again, every character in this game has cool ass colors and shit. Now, I would think that you would be way more angry, about the limited edition skins, the ones over there which they're you can't get regardless of anything. The ones that once they're gone, they're fucking gone. It's you have to get them in this small ass window, and if you don't get them, you fucked. Those are the ones that I would think that you would be a little bit more angry about, But the pilot spot legendary, I mean, again, they're planning on changing it, so hopefully it comes out better than what it previously did. But until then, that's just that. Let's move on to our last story. This final news story actually kind of brings me just a little bit of joy, and it is Double Dragon 4 announced for PlayStation 4 and PC. Now, what does that necessarily mean? Well, going the route of Mega Man, not necessarily Mega Man X, but Mega Man. Arc System Works basically said, well, now you have Double Dragon 2, and Double Dragon 3 for basically the NES. Well, now we're about to make another NES title, and it's called Double Dragon 4, and it's gonna be in the similar style of the NES's version of Double Dragon 2. And I kind of like it, but a few people up on the internet, they did actually kind of point out something interesting, and that is it is very difficult to call this game Double Dragon 4, especially since Super Double Dragon or Return of Double Dragon is technically Double Dragon 4. You have Double Dragon 5, which is a fighting game. You have Neo Geo's Double Dragon, which is also a fighting game, which that could be Double Dragon 6, which is based off of the movie. And also you have Rage of Dragon, which is pretty much like an unofficial sequel to Double Dragon. Especially since when you think about it, it's you have Billy Lewis and Jimmy Lewis, and this is supposed to be in a parallel universe in which that Marion died, and both of the brothers hate each other. So it's kind of interesting in that sort of sense. But you would think that one would probably be an unofficial Double Dragon 7. Now, also another fun fact is that I don't know how they're really necessarily going to get this game up off of the. Fun fact. Double Dragon is one of those series in which that nobody knows who owns the rights to. So most likely, even I, can make a fucking Double Dragon game and just do whatever the fuck I want with it. Because again, nobody knows who technically owns Double Dragon. I mean, I think Arc System is technically the only company to actually kind of have it, or I forget which company that actually had the rights, the rights to Double Dragon, but nobody fucking knows. Which is why whenever you ask somebody, it's which brother has blonde hair and which one's the brunette. Sometimes Billy is the blonde in the first game, and then Jimmy's the brunette. Or most likely you get fucking Jimmy is the blonde, and Billy is the brunette, in Super Double Dragon. We don't fucking know. Or most likely they're both brunettes, in the original NES. We don't fucking know. But either way, I'm happy to see it. Looks amazing, looks great, and hopefully it actually lives up to some of the classical hype. So, and also it's reasonably priced. It is coming out for PlayStation 4 and also PC. And sorry for that Double Dragon history lesson, which I did very poorly on. But I'll see you on the next Jongravesshow show. Keep watching anime, keep playing video games. Tell me what do you think about the complain train, and we have reached our stop. I'm out. Yo, internet, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the Jongravesshow Show. On this case, Recap Corner. And we are here talking about Dragon Ball Super Episode 73. This has been one of the more difficult ones to talk about without yawning or stumbling over my fucking words, but let's get right into this one, okay? So, what is this episode primarily about? Well, as the previous title kind of said, well, now, Gohan and Videl, and they find out that there's a Great Saiyan Man versus Hercule movie coming out. And of course, just like how most of these things